Before we continue, take a moment to settle. Let your body soften into wherever you are. Allow your hands to rest, your jaw to unclench, your breath to move without effort. And when you're ready, gently close your eyes. Because this works best when you let it surround you. You notice it because it doesn't quite fit. Everything else on the street makes sense. Bright signs, familiar brands, windows designed to catch your attention quickly, deliberately. But this place doesn't try. There's no sign you can immediately read, no display asking anything from you, just a window softly lit, as though the light inside belongs to a different time of day. You find yourself looking at it longer than you meant to, just a few seconds more, trying to decide if it's just another shop or something else entirely. Inside, objects rest in quiet arrangement, not labeled, not priced, not explained, just placed. You step a little closer, only to get a better look, that's all. And as you move towards it, the rest of the street begins to lose a little of its importance. Not gone, just further away, softer, less defined. The light in the window shifts as you approach. Not brighter, but clearer, as if it meets you halfway. You find yourself standing right in front of the glass, close enough now to see your reflection. You pause and simply look, because normally this is where something would happen. A thought, a correction, a quiet judgment, a subtle adjustment in posture, perhaps averting your gaze. But now, something is different. None of that happens. Maybe for the first time in a long time, you simply see yourself. And while this lingers, your attention begins to drift to what's behind the glass. The display feels different now. Not something meant to be glanced at, but something meant to be noticed, slowly, layer by layer. Closest to the glass, small bundles of dried herbs rest quietly, tied with thin strands of twine, each one slightly different. Nearby, small glass bottles catch the light, each one slightly different. Different shapes, different levels, different colors. The surfaces inside are completely still. And as you notice that stillness, something in you mirrors it. Your attention begins to move differently now, more slowly, more deliberately. There are crystals that catch the light in ways you can't ignore. A piece of fabric lies across a wooden table, soft, slightly creased. And scattered across it, smaller things, dried flowers, coils of string, candle wicks, oils. Your focus becoming quieter, steadier, drawn in without needing a reason. You don't decide to go inside, not clearly, not consciously. You simply don't step away. And after a few seconds, that becomes something else. A shift, a movement. Your hand lifts slightly, almost absent-minded, as if your body has already understood something your mind is still catching up to. The door is closer than you remember. You don't recall crossing that last bit of space, and yet here you are. Your hands rest on the handle. It feels exactly right. And perhaps for the first time in a long time, without overthinking it, you open the door. You step inside. The sound of the street fades behind you. Your footsteps are softer here. Your fingers brush lightly against the edge of a wooden surface as you pass, grounding. And somewhere deeper in the room, you hear a faint sound. Glass being set down carefully. You can use it. The voice is quite unintrusive. You can use the space, they say. And they don't approach, they don't watch, they don't wait for you to do anything. They simply return to what they were doing. And you are left exactly where you are. There's no instruction here, no expectation, no correct way to exist in this moment. The wooden table in front of you draws your attention, not pulling, just present. Worn in places, smooth in others, marked gently by time. You step closer, not because you have to, but because something in you is curious. Your gaze drifts. You notice the many small things. And something shifts inside you, a quiet recognition that you are allowed to be here fully, completely. And that recognition unfolds. There is no urgency here, only space. Your hand lowers slowly. Your gaze shifts again, and something catches your attention. A small object. You don't fully register what it is at first, only that your eyes return to it and stay. You pick it up, turn it slightly in your hand, not analyzing, not judging, just noticing. And as you do, your breath deepens again, slower now, fuller. You don't have to know why the voice returns, and something in you relaxes even further. You place it down or keep holding it. There's no wrong movement here, only noticing, only allowing. And as you remain there, something else begins to change. Not the room, but the way you are perceiving it. The light hasn't shifted, and yet it rests differently now. Softer in some places, brighter in others, as if it responds not to the objects, but to your attention. You notice it on your hands, the way it gathers along your fingertips. You turn them slightly, watching how the light meets you, and something quiet moves through you. Off to the side, you see your mirror, and you notice the moment you become aware of the unique details of it. You step closer, slowly, because something in you is curious once again. What happens if you don't look away? At first, it's your reflection, unchanged, and then the light shifts just enough. It doesn't scan, it doesn't search, it simply rests on you. And this doesn't feel like pretending. It doesn't feel like effort. It feels like a peaceful recognition. This is what happens, the voice says. When you stop looking for what's wrong and allow something else to be seen. And that feeling quickly begins to turn inward. The way you meet your thoughts, the way you hold your feelings, the way you speak to yourself when no one else can hear. There's an invitation here, not to force kindness, but to let the light rest there too. And as it does, the space begins to shift softly until you are somewhere else. Your home, a safe, comfortable part of your home. You pass a mirror, its surface ripples, not changing you, just responding. You step closer and the ripple slows, and as it stills, your reflection becomes clearer once again, and your gaze softens, because now you are no longer searching for what's wrong. This is how glamour works, the voice says. It doesn't change you, it changes the way you are seen, the way you are perceived, even by yourself. And a question forms naturally. If that's true, how would I want to be seen? The mirror doesn't change you, it responds to that feeling, amplifying it, letting it rise, as though what you feel is something it can reflect. And from here, it begins to move with you. When someone speaks to you, you have a certain sense of calm and confidence. You listen, stay present, and words come easily. Later, you laugh, a real laugh, and instead of letting it pass immediately, you allow it to linger, to echo through your body, and that too becomes part of what surrounds you. Someone compliments you, and you receive it, not deflecting, not questioning, just allowing it to land. And in another moment, you feel the desire to be seen a certain way, and instead of performing it, you do something quieter. You select it. You recognize a version of yourself that already exists, and you let that be the one that comes forward. When thoughts appear, you let it pass, choose to reshape them or hone in on them. You recognize your control. When someone looks at you, maybe longer than usual, you don't react with judgment or self-consciousness. Instead, you let yourself be seen as you are in that moment. When you are someplace seated with nothing to do, nothing demanding your attention. Instead of reaching for distraction, you let yourself exist in that moment. There's a quiet completeness, and people sense it. You sense it. There's a moment where nothing specific has changed. Same clothes, same environment, and yet without trying, you feel attractive. You allow yourself to feel it. As you move through your day, you pay attention to your feelings, and those begin to translate. You notice the ability to let certain things come forward and allow others to soften. The difference between looking for something and allowing something to be seen. A quiet alignment between how you feel and what is perceived. That slight shift in the lens, that quiet decision to let yourself be seen the way you wish to be perceived. To see yourself this way becomes a natural way of moving through the world. And when you open your eyes, you may notice, even in the smallest way, that something about how you see yourself has already changed. So open your eyes now, have fun, and continue choosing what you want to be seen.